9 days away from WrestleMania. Everybody in the triple threat is pissed off. We got a new type of match coming at WrestleMania. Logan Paul was here. The women got shafted again. But all in all, thank God that Seth Rollins still got that drip. Oh boy. My name is Jordan Moser, and this is your Smackdown Recap and Review. Kicking off the night, we got a promo from Edge. He comes out and he's just talking about his disdain for everything that has happened over the past couple of weeks. He's talking about being mad at Daniel Bryan. Daniel just couldn't play second fiddle, could he? He had to insert himself into what is now a triple threat match at WrestleMania. So Edge is just mad about that. He's mad that he didn't see it coming as well. Like, he's the ultimate opportunist. Like, he's the manipulator. He should have saw what Bryan was doing coming, but he didn't, and he's mad at himself about that too. But at the same time, he has both Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns to thank, because they woke up the dog. They woke up the rated R, a superstar Edge, and now he is coming out with full force. He's not caring about nobody's feelings and nothing like that. He is about this, and he's going to do it with no hesitation at WrestleMania when given the opportunity and the situation. This is a nice solid promo from Edge. His delivery with promos is always rock solid. I'm still trying to get used to him being a heel after he's been a babyface ever since he debuted and came back at Royal Rumble 2020. So just trying to get used to that a little bit more. But the promo was rock solid and definitely leads into the street fight that we have for Daniel Bryan and Jey Uso going on later in the night. So just solid stuff from Edge all around for sure. Next up, we got our first match of the night. We got the Alpha Academy and the Dirty Dogs against the Mysterios and the Street Profits. We see Chad Gable had a promo before the match kicked off, just glorifying Otis and how far he's come since he's joined up with the Alpha Academy, and talking about how at WrestleMania Smackdown, whatever that is, that they will win the tag team titles in the Fatal 4-Way match that the 4 teams in the match have going on next week on SmackDown, whatever WrestleMania Smackdown is. But just a fast start to the match for Dominic and Dolph Ziggler. This eventually breaks down. Before the commercial break, we see the face team dive onto all the heels on the outside as we go into that break. Coming back from break, and Dawkins is just getting worked over by the heel team for a really long time. Definitely thought it went longer than it needed to. But this eventually ends with Dawkins and Otis hitting a double clothesline on each other. Dawkins eventually gets a tag into Montez Ford, and he comes in on a roll, just flying around like he does. Eventually ends it with a nice little suplex and a moonsault combo, only for a 2 count. There's a large kerfuffle between all 8 teams, just going everywhere like most 8-man tags do and stuff like that. But we do see the end of this match as Chad Gable and Ford are the legal men. Gable hits that chaos theory as Otis tagged in. Otis hit that nice splash from the middle rope for the 1-2-3 and the win for Alpha Academy and the Dirty Dogs. Just going into next week. This is what you expect an 8-man tag match to be. Definitely solid action all around. Nothing bad really, but just very interchangeable. Like, there's nothing necessarily you need to go back and watch about this match. But I'm looking forward to the Fatal 4-Way. It should be fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the result of that is. I have an own idea of what that'll be. But yeah, just a nice little squabble here. Next up, we do have a face-to-face between Cesaro and Seth Rollins, just going into the match at night 1 of WrestleMania. And Cesaro, he looking fly, and Rollins, not the best choice this week, but he was looking fly as well. I can't even front. I like the suit. I liked it. But Cesaro was just asked about his chances at WrestleMania. He's pretty confident, saying that he won't fail at WrestleMania, can afford the opportunity to fail in his first singles WrestleMania match. He can't do it. He starts to sing about swinging for some reason. I wasn't a fan of that, so we're just going to bypass that. But Rollins rebuttals. He's like, hey, this time of year, WrestleMania season, I'm unshakable. Like, have you seen what I've done? Have you seen the matches against Triple H and against Brock Lesnar? And who can forget the Heist of the Century? Just comparing those to the all-time moments. Heist of the Century is the only one of those moments. But yeah, he's just very confident in his abilities as well. He starts to snap as Cesaro is still talking like, hey bro, you are levels, like so many levels beneath me. And at WrestleMania, I'm gonna beat you so bad, boy, you won't even have your potential to fall back on. I was like, ooh, what a nice little solid line. And as they get face to face and nose to nose, Cesaro was just like, hey bro, take a swing. Do it. Take a swing. Do it. And Rollins, as he's looking at it, he's about to fight. He thinks better of it. He just backs out and he walks out the ring. This was very generic but effective at the same time. Definitely building animosity between the two just going into night one of WrestleMania. I didn't like the wordplay from Cesaro early on, but that last little one-liner was like, yeah, that's what we needed the entire time. That's what I needed. Both men really did their jobs here, definitely building anticipation. I'm hoping that Cesaro and him just have a banger for like those first 20 minutes. I really hope it opens the show because that just allows them to just go out there, no expectations, no nothing, and just ball out. So I'm looking forward to this match and its simplicity and its effectiveness so well. So yeah, everything about this was pretty good. So I'm going to read off what happened with this next match because I really have no other thoughts besides what I wrote down. So I put down what Tamina wearing, even though she looked beautiful, by the way. I will say that you was looking good, Tamina. Natalya beat Shayna Baszler in 36.7 seconds. The champions attacked Riot Squad, Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Lana show up. Fighting ensued, and Tamina and Natalya stand tall. That's pretty much it. I don't know what else you want me to say about any of that, really. Next up, we do have the premiere of the trailer of Sami Zayn's conspiracy documentary. And here to help him just kick it off, he has YouTube sensation and social media influencer, all that, Logan Paul. As Logan is coming to the ring, Sami is dancing and he's shimmying, and that was the best part about the segment because that was fantastic. But Zayn and Paul are in the ring to sit down, and Zayn is just like, hey man, I really appreciate you being here. This really shows your character. You are standing with the oppressed. And he invites him to WrestleMania, and Paul's like, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll be your guest. Yeah, we all cool. Yeah, just show me what you got. I want to see the documentary. I want to see the trailer. Let's do it. And so they play it, and it's about what you think it would be. I figured out that when WWE tries to do something both funny yet actually make it look good, it doesn't work. Like, it doesn't fit together at all. It can only be one of the two. But yeah, afterwards, Zayn asked Paul, hey, what you think, man? What you think? And Paul was trying to kind of avoid. He's like, yeah, it was all right. I see what you were going for. You put a lot of effort into it, but I saw Kevin Owens backstage, and he told me you was wilding and that you're irrational and neurotic. And Zayn starts to spaz a little bit. He's like, don't say that. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you had to say. I already know what Owens has to say. I'll find him at Mania. But what did you have to say, man? And at this moment, after a little bit of a back and forth, Kevin Owens shows up and just stuns Zayn in the middle of the ring. He's like, this isn't going to stop until you stop acting like this. And then he shoves Logan Paul as he's getting out the ring, and Owens just walks off as Zayn recovers. We see later on a little bit, once we come back from break, that Zayn finds Owens backstage, just attacks him, runs him into the wall, and just talks about how he'll see him at WrestleMania. Yeah, this was all right for what it was. Logan Paul's appearance didn't really do anything to boost this and anything. He really just sat there awkwardly, honestly, like he didn't really know what was going on. Zayn was as good as he usually is, just delivery rise and just the neurotic character that he has. And Owens, I don't really know what his role is here. I'm glad he has a match at Mania, but it doesn't really feel like his all is really in this feud as of yet at the babyface. And then the video was what the video was. So all in all, okay stuff, I guess, especially from Sami Zayn, but everything else was just kind of dull to me, really. Up next, we have a match between Bianca Belair and Carmella. We have a nice promo from Belair in the gorilla position before the match kicks off, just talking about how she plans to run through Carmella. She was the start of this whole Reginald mess anyway, and now she finally brought out the boss out of Sasha Banks, finally brought out the best out of Sasha Banks. So now she can go ahead and beat the best and whoop that tail at WrestleMania. So yeah, this is a nice little delivery from Belair, but the match doesn't even kick off. We see Carmella attack before the match even starts, and she beats her up outside the ring, and Belair is selling that leg as we go into the commercial break. Coming back from break, and Carmella is working over Belair. She has her in a nice sleeper. Eventually later on, uses her hair tied up in the ropes to kind of gain control and just continue to stomp her as well. But we do see later on, Belair begins her comeback, explodes out of the corner for a nice little clothesline and begins her comeback. And after a bit more back and forth, we see really out of nowhere, from nothing really, Belair hit that KOD for the 1, 2, 3 and the win. Not very impressive match, I would say. We do see Sasha Banks. She shows up after the match, but she doesn't do nothing. She just kind of stands there. Belair's like, hey, Wait for Mania, baby. Wait for Mania. I'm gonna beat that tail. I got you. And then Sasha just leaves the ring and holds the title high, and that's kind of the end of all of that. Yeah, like I said, not really an impressive match. Very short match from Belair and Carmella. Didn't really have a nice structure to it, and the stuff between Belair and Sasha at the end didn't really make me super excited for Mania and want to see them just fighting each other. You know, it didn't make me feel like that. I wish it did, but it didn't. So I'm still looking forward. I'm hoping next week at WrestleMania Smackdown, everything kind of comes together for night one. But yeah, this didn't make me feel nothing at all, unfortunately. Next up, we got two back-to-back video promos. The first one for Baron Corbin, just talking about showing up at Monday Night Raw to help Bobby Lashley take out Drew McIntyre and stand tall at the end of the show. Like, he's a king. Like, he saw opportunity afoot, and he looked at his watch, his nice little watch, and he said, it's my time. So this Monday, he will face off against Drew McIntyre to try to take him out so he can take his spot at WrestleMania and face off against the almighty Bobby Lashley. And then the second one, a bit more interesting. We got Apollo Crews just talking about WrestleMania and going up against Big E for that Intercontinental Championship. And he challenges Big E to a Nigerian drum fight. Think about that real quick. Think about that real quick. What the heck is a Nigerian drum fight? Oh my gosh. They'd be so good, and then like that, like, it's awful again. Like, help me understand. That being said, I'm looking forward to the match. I want to see what it is, and I want to see how good it is. But my God, what the heck, man? Jeez, Nigerian drum fight. That is hilarious. That is funny. But yeah, nice promos from those two, I guess. But Nigerian drum fight. Wow, jeez. And last up in the main event, we got Daniel Bryan versus Jey Uso in a street fight, no holds barred, baby. We see Edge out on commentary to lend his hand to everything that is going on. We see Bryan go after Russo right away as this match kicks off. There's a little bit of back and forth on the outside, and they're just going at it. But this match really picks up. We see Daniel Bryan just go for a suicide dive to the outside, and Jey has that chair, just gets him in the head. They end up in the ring. Jey hits him a couple times. Bryan comes back, hits him a couple times with that chair, and that's where we eventually see Roman Reigns. He comes out, gets a nice little chair, sits on the entrance ramp, and just watches everything as we go to the commercial break. Coming back from break, and Bryan is in control. He is working over Jey in the corner with those yes kicks. He goes for a drop kick, but Jey clocks Bryan with a super kick, takes him out just to try to gain back control. He eventually introduces a steel chain to the matchup. Jey gets in a good number of shots with that steel chain. After this, he eventually goes up top for the frog splash, and he hits it, but only for a 2 count, and he is bewildered in the ring. Edge is bewildered on commentary. He's like, how do you kick out of that? Like, you shouldn't be able to kick out of that. You shouldn't be able to do that. But as they are fighting outside the ring for a little bit, Bryan starts to come back a little bit. He hits a nice suplex off the steel steps on Jey, and at this point, they're fighting like right in front of the commentary table, like right in front of Edge, and Daniel Bryan's just looking at Edge, like just slamming and beating on Jey, slamming him into the table. Like, you feel it? Do you feel it now, Edge? He gets Jey back into the ring, and at this point, he has the chain now. He wraps it around his arms, and he just starts attacking him with those elbows to Jey. A nice little spot and ingenuity with that chain, of course. But it's from here, he transitions into that yes lock, and Jey Uso has no use but to tap out, and Daniel Bryan has beaten Uso again in the street fight. But Daniel Bryan ain't done now. No sirree. Right after this match, he gets out of the ring and just hits Edge with that running knee, drags him over to the turnbuckle, to the steel post, and just rams his head into there. He's like, hey, I showed you, like, this was gonna happen. This is me pissed off. Come on now. And he sees Roman Reigns up on the ramp. He's like, what you sitting over there for? Like, come on, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to do this. Roman tries to throw the chair at him to kind of get him out the way, but Daniel Bryan eventually hits the knee on Reigns as well and locks him up in that yes lock, and eventually makes him pass out as officials and everybody is coming to try to rip him off. And Daniel Bryan's just in the ring doing those yes chants to end the show and stand tall. This was a nice little street fight between those two boys. I'll definitely say that they have amazing chemistry together. I swear if they just were allowed like 20-25 minutes to just go and put on the bar and burner, they definitely could. But Daniel Bryan was definitely the star of the show. Everything in this match and outside of this match in this final segment was phenomenal. Just the tenacity that he was showing, the grit, the determination and all that just coming out. It really makes it seem like anybody can win this title at WrestleMania, which is a really good feeling, even outside of the fact that Roman Reigns, who is the best character in WWE right now, mind you, feels like a background character in his own story, which I kind of feel bad about and sad about. But I like the idea of the triple threat. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Like I said, I feel like anybody can win the title at this point and they can put it on anybody. So we'll see what kind of happens there. But this was a phenomenal altogether final segment, especially for Daniel Bryan. And that is the end of this episode, 9 days out of WrestleMania for Smackdown. All in all, this was a middle of the road show, I will describe it as. Definitely the main event segment, Edge's promo at the beginning, and the Seth Rollins and Cesaro face-off were pretty high points, but everything else was very dull and lazy, I would say. And I don't like the word lazy. It really gets on my nerves, but this was a lot of lazy booking on this show, and I was very upset about that. So hopefully WrestleMania Smackdown, yippee, it's good or whatever it is, just leading into night 1 and night 2 for Mania. But yeah, a lot of this show was very not it, I will say. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to put it past it. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania and WrestleMania Smackdown and everything that has to go on. But yeah, this is the middle of the road show. That's going to be it from your boy. You will see us coming up with a week with more videos. Like, share, subscribe, everything like that. Watch the videos. You see the ups coming. We know it's coming. We know it's coming. But that's going to be it from me. WrestleMania is coming, so I am out. Peace, enjoy yourselves. I will say it again, enjoy your Easter, please, the resurrection, everything with that. Love everybody, please. Come on now. All right, I'll catch y'all soon.